Did you know that spiritual exhaustion can actually affect your physical health? Studies have shown that feeling spiritually drained can lead to increased stress levels and even impact your immune system. Spiritual exhaustion is a real phenomenon that can be just as debilitating as physical exhaustion. It's a state of emotional, mental, and spiritual depletion that can leave you feeling drained, unmotivated, and disconnected from your spiritual practices or beliefs. In this video, we're going to explore the top 10 signs that indicate you might be experiencing spiritual exhaustion. If you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, lacking the energy or motivation to engage in activities that once brought you joy, or struggling to find peace and calmness in your daily life, you might be experiencing spiritual exhaustion. The good news is that recognizing the signs is the first step towards healing and renewal. Thanks for tuning in today. If you'd like to support the channel, buying me a coffee is a simple way to do so. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Your support keeps this journey going strong. Spiritual exhaustion can manifest in many different ways, and it's not always easy to identify. But by being aware of these signs, you can take the necessary steps to recharge and revitalize your spiritual energy. Feeling disconnected from your spiritual practices or beliefs is one of the most common signs of spiritual exhaustion. When was the last time you felt truly connected to your spiritual community or practiced your spiritual rituals with intention and dedication? If you're struggling to find meaning or purpose in your spiritual practices, it might be a sign that you're spiritually exhausted. You might find yourself going through the motions, attending church or meditation sessions, but feeling like you're just phoning it in. You're not alone in this feeling. Many people experience a sense of disconnection from their spiritual practices at some point in their lives. The problem is that this disconnection can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, or frustration, which can further exacerbate the feeling of spiritual exhaustion. It's essential to acknowledge this feeling and address it head-on. Recognizing this sign can be the catalyst for change, helping you to reconnect with your spiritual practices and find a sense of purpose and meaning in your life. Feeling a lack of energy or motivation is another common sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, even the thought of engaging in activities that once brought you joy can feel like climbing a mountain. You might find yourself putting off tasks, procrastinating, or feeling like you're stuck in a rut, unable to muster the energy to move forward. This lack of motivation can be demoralizing, leading to feelings of inadequacy or failure. It's essential to listen to your body and recognize that this lack of energy might be a sign that you need to slow down, recharge, and refocus. By acknowledging this sign, you can take the necessary steps to revitalize your energy and find your spark again. Feeling overwhelmed by negative emotions or thoughts is another sign that you might be experiencing spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling spiritually drained, it's easy to get caught up in a cycle of negativity, self-doubt, or fear. You might find yourself ruminating on negative thoughts, struggling to shake off feelings of anxiety or depression, or feeling like you're drowning in a sea of emotions. It's essential to recognize this pattern and take steps to address it. Negative emotions and thoughts can be a sign that you're spiritually exhausted, but they can also be a catalyst for growth and change. By acknowledging these feelings, you can begin to shift your focus towards more positive and uplifting thoughts. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it's essential to take a step back, breathe, and focus on the present moment. By doing so, you can begin to break free from the cycle of negativity and find a sense of peace and calmness. Feeling like you can't find peace or calmness during meditation or prayer is another sign that you might be experiencing spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, even the most relaxing activities can feel like a chore. You might find yourself struggling to quiet your mind, feeling agitated or restless, or finding it difficult to connect with a sense of inner peace. This can be frustrating, especially if meditation or prayer has always been a source of comfort and solace for you. It's essential to recognize that this lack of peace or calmness might be a sign that you need to address deeper issues, such as stress, anxiety, or unresolved trauma. Feeling cynical or skeptical about your beliefs or spiritual community is another sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, you might start to question the value of your spiritual practices or the authenticity of your spiritual leaders. You might find yourself feeling disconnected from your spiritual community, feeling like you don't belong, or wondering if your beliefs are truly serving you. This can be a challenging feeling, especially if you've been invested in your spiritual practices for a long time. It's essential to recognize that this feeling might be a sign that you need to reevaluate your spiritual path and find a new sense of purpose and meaning. Feeling isolated or lonely, even when surrounded by others, is another sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, you might start to withdraw from social interactions, feeling like you don't have the energy to connect with others. You might find yourself feeling like you're stuck on an island, even when you're surrounded by friends and family. This can be a painful feeling, especially if you're someone who thrives on social connection. It's essential to recognize that this feeling might be a sign that you need to prioritize self-care and focus on building meaningful connections with others. Noticing a decline in your physical health or well-being is another sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, your physical body can start to suffer. You might find yourself experiencing fatigue, insomnia, or digestive issues, or struggling to manage chronic health conditions. This can be a wake-up call, forcing you to address the underlying issues that are contributing to your spiritual exhaustion. Feeling stuck or stagnant in your personal growth is another sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, you might start to feel like you're not growing or evolving as a person. You might find yourself feeling like you're stuck in a rut, struggling to make progress towards your goals, or feeling like you're not living up to your full potential. This can be demoralizing, especially if you're someone who values personal growth and self-awareness. It's essential to recognize that this feeling might be a sign that you need to shake things up and try new experiences, challenge yourself, or seek out new sources of inspiration. Feeling an increased need for external validation or reassurance about your spiritual path is another sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, you might start to seek out validation from others, craving reassurance that you're on the right path. You might find yourself constantly seeking out advice from spiritual leaders or seeking validation from your peers. This can be draining, especially if you're constantly seeking outside validation rather than tuning into your own inner wisdom. Feeling like you're struggling to maintain a sense of gratitude or appreciation in your life is another sign of spiritual exhaustion. When you're feeling drained, it's easy to lose sight of the good things in life. You might find yourself feeling ungrateful, critical, or dissatisfied, or struggling to find the silver lining in challenging situations. This can be a sign that you need to shift your focus towards the present moment and cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation. So, what can you do if you're experiencing spiritual exhaustion? The first step is to acknowledge the signs and take responsibility for your spiritual health. It's essential to prioritize self-care, take time to recharge, and refocus your energy on activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Remember, spiritual exhaustion is a common experience that many of us face at some point in our lives. By being aware of the signs, you can take the necessary steps to heal, grow, and find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in your life. If you've experienced spiritual exhaustion, I truly want to hear your story. Sharing your journey can be a powerful step towards healing, and your thoughts might resonate with someone else who's going through the same thing. So, don't hesitate to comment below. Let's start a conversation that helps us all grow. If this video spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might need to hear this message. Your support means the world to me, and it helps the channel grow so we can reach even more people. Thank you for being part of this community. May God's peace and blessings be with you always. If you're looking to overcome depression and anxiety by strengthening your spirituality, I invite you to check out my ebook, Soulful Transformations, Bridging Faith and Mind for Lasting Wellness, available on Kindle. This book combines cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, with biblical wisdom to help you manage stress, tackle anxiety, and find lasting peace through faith. It's not just about mental health. It's about deepening your relationship with God and transforming your life in ways that inspire others. Check the description below for the link and take the first step toward a life of spiritual and emotional wellness.